Greg Gutfeld now with more raisins. Here's what's coming up. One presumptive nominee down, one to go. It's just like musical chairs without the music or the chairs. My God, it's nothing like musical chairs. Who's Hillary's biggest challenger in this election? Is it Bernie, Donald, or a dude named Guccifer? Don't ask me. I'm heavily medicated. Mike Bloomberg spanks college grads with their safe spaces and their microaggressions and their big gulps. Wait, scratch the big gulps. Let's get started, America. I won $11 on the Derby, and it's burning a hole in my pocket. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's as prolific as I am horrific. New York Times best-selling author Brad Thor, the greatest name ever. Brad Thor. His latest book, Foreign Agent, comes out next month. Brad Thor, tonight after MacGyver. She knows ballots like I know mallets. I play a lot of croquet. At least that's what I tell the ER. Democratic pollster Jessica Tarlov. Like a coconut filled with eels. He's both hairy and shocking. Gavin McInnes, host of the Gavin McInnes Show. Don't egg him on. She just redecorated her vacation home, meaning she threw up in a liquor store. Joanne Nosuchinsky. That was a good one. Finally, like a fresh-cut dandelion, she's always bitter. National Review reporter Katherine Timpf. And we begin the show with this.
Donald Trump, the presumptive nominee.
Very good. This week, Hillary unloaded a deadly ad aimed at Donald Trump. It's like a political version of Reefer Madness, and Trump's the joint.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. I'll use the word anchor baby. This is a country where we speak English, not Spanish.
You're going to have a deportation force.
I will get rid of gun-free zones on schools. My first day, it gets signed.
A total and complete shutdown
Of Muslims entering the United States.
Do you still believe that Muslims should be banned from entering the country until we can figure out what's going on, as you've said?
Yes, we have to find out what the hell is going on.
What do you think I want to do? I said it's fine. And if we want to go stronger, I'd go stronger too.
When you get these terrorists, you have to take out their families.
Bomb the out of them.
It's basically a rap song celebrating Donald Trump. I mean, be honest. Be honest. How many times did you laugh during that ad? 1, 2, 12? Poor Hillary. What she's slamming is precisely what attracts people to Trump. Oh, my God. He said he bombed the out of ISIS. He praises waterboarding. He'll kill families of terrorists. This is not a negative ad. It's a highlight reel. It's like a trailer. It's like a trailer for a movie you want to see about an orange, rude teddy bear that says what you think, then soils your rug. See, pointing out Trump's bluntness is like telling kids, no, don't go into that haunted house. It's way too scary. Or warning them, no, you don't want to go on that roller coaster. It just goes too fast. Those are the selling points. It's like a warning label on cigarettes. It's sexy. Hillary's got to wake up. She's like a rich lady offended by people wearing sweatpants in first class. The world has changed. No one's wearing a trilby when peddling their penny farthing to the 5 and dime. Trump is like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack. Everyone loved him, Al Cervic, except the rich socialites at the country club, and he always outsmarted them. So whatever you think hurts Donald helps him. I know, because I was so wrong on this. Making fun of a POW, a woman's face, linking Cruz to an assassination. Nothing stops Trump. For the Trump entertainment bubble is impenetrable. Remember Cruz trying to reason with this guy?
And I'm running to be everyone's president. Those who vote for me, even those
We
who
don't want you.
Well, you're a taxpayer, sir. I will respect it. In fact, I will
Do the
protect.
math.
I will protect
You know, you asked
your
Kasich
rights.
to drop out. It's your turn.
Well,
Take your own words.
now I'm curious, sir.
Time to drop out.
When
sir.
Donald doesn't get to 1237, are you going to call him to
Donald's,
drop out?
Donald's definitely going to get to
No,
1237.
no,
No,
he's
he's going
not.
to get more than 1237.
See, that's the Trump phenomenon in human form. It is impervious to contact. What happens when you bring up an issue?
You know on the wall that Donald told the New York Times editorial board he's not going to build a wall and he's not going to deport anyone?
You're lying. Once
Well-
again, lying Ted.
What if you ask a question about beliefs?
Let me ask you
You
something.
are the
sir.
problem,
All right,
politician. You are the problem.
Can I ask you something?
No.
Can I ask you something? Out of all of the...
And so the more Trump wins, the more frustrated his opponents look. He's managed to turn Hillary into that humorless nemesis from Animal House. You remember Dean Wormer? Which makes Trump Bluto.
I'm a zit. Get it?
And how can you not elect a zit?
Period.
All right. That's good applause. It was a good effort. It was a solid effort. Wrote that this morning in my underwear. I just wanted you to have an image. All right, Brad. I understand that this ad was it's not directed at the Trump fan. It's directed at, I guess, Hillary supporters. But that seems kind of unnecessary because they must already hate Trump. Does this help?
She's preaching to the choir, right?
Yeah.
And she needs the Bernie people. And I
Yeah.
don't know if this pulls the Bernie people over, but I'll tell you, as a never Trump guy, that was so hysterical.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I'm going to go over to the other side now.
That's my point. It's like I wanted for so long, Jessica, to have a candidate that would make the Democrats look clunky. And I feel like as much as I find Trump problematic, and I hate that word, he's actually making Hillary look way out of time.
Certainly in terms of the ads and kind of how they're going about this. I don't think, when we get to debate time and you see the two of them next to each other, I think that's really where she's going to shine, because I think people get more serious about it as time goes on, and you see someone who understands policy and has an affinity for specifics versus a Trump. But you're totally right. That ad, as a Hillary supporter, I love it. It's hilarious.
You said something, though, that I think is even more incredible. You actually think there's going to be debates. I don't think Hillary. I think Hillary would be nuts to show up for a debate with Trump.
She has to.
No, she doesn't. She keeps doing town halls, and she says,
Send Uma.
No. Yeah.
"Oh, Uma."
Or Uma Thurman. I'm not sure which one. Is it Uma Abedin, Uma Thurman, or Uma Pemiraju? There are three Umas.
One was in Kill Bill.
That's true, Uma Pemiraju.
And the other,
Sometimes once.
Bill.
All right, Gavin.
Yes.
Okay, you were a Cruz guy, a very solid Cruz guy.
Still a Cruz guy. Love Cruz.
Okay, so he's
I'm a Republican. I like the right.
Yeah, you do.
Where's the unity here?
All right, let's talk about unity. You made Vice. You were so outside the mainstream. You were basically scum of the earth for the long. Right? Would you agree?
I'm still a pariah.
Yeah, you are, Brian. You don't like peer pressure. Isn't unity another form of peer pressure?
Yes, but Trump is the leader of the freaks. We're the freaks now. People who want freedom, people who have had enough of immigration, people who want the grievance industry to end are the freaks now. Okay, let's have a freak president.
Okay.
Well, the first punk rock president we've ever had.
It's a fair point.
And by the way, sorry, in that montage when we were all laughing at Cruz for saying that Trump said he's not going to build a wall, he never said that to the New York Times editorial board. He said, when the audience is bored, I mention the wall.
Right.
He never denied he's going to build a wall.
Well,
he's building a wall.
He is building a wall.
Yes.
Of course. Okay. Kat.
To keep American businesses inside the United States.
Exactly.
Why are we laughing? What's absurd about that?
To be totally isolationist? What?
Yes, what's the matter with being isolationist?
Because you'll be stuck with Americans all the time, and you won't have good TV.
What's the matter with America?
We're awful. I mean, look at what
awful.
we're about
That's
to elect
it in a
Donald
nutshell.
Trump.
Oh, Jessica.
We're
Jessica. It's my first boo.
I happen to like us.
You come back here.
I think we're pretty good.
You just got the first boo, Jessica. No, but you know what?
We need the rest of the world.
Yeah, no, we do. Okay, here's the thing.
They don't have to live here.
Look. Let me help here.
Yeah, I do.
We do need the rest of the world because somebody has to someone has to show us how great we are by comparison.
Amen.
Here's the thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me go to you, Joe. What should Hillary commercials do? if they should do anything.
They not this. Here's the problem. Hillary is playing the same old political game that she was used to 8 years ago. It's those sort of same tactics. Not only does Trump not play by the same rules of the game, he's playing a different game entirely. And voters like it. So she needs to, I don't know, hire new people, get a fresh, I don't know, perspective if she really wants to attack him, because it's not working.
You know what? Here's my suggestion. I'll throw it out to you, Kat. The idea of trying to portray Trump as dangerous only enhances Trump. You have to actually play a different angle that maybe he is harmful in different ways. I had an idea for a drug ad. Like, it's like, you know, Trump, for the treatment of anger and anxiety. Warning, may cause trade wars, xenophobia, higher taxes, racial unrest, world instability, nausea, and diarrhea.
Anxiety.
What?
It will take care of my anxiety, though.
No, nothing can take care of your anxiety. Thank you for walking over my punchline.
I was just thinking that, you know, as long as I don't have any anxiety about it, I guess I don't really care what else it's going to do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, exactly. I felt like I was watching Trump's greatest hits when I watched that. And I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not an anything supporter. There are things that I don't support. We're not really supporting anything at all.
Yes.
But yeah,
including this show.
I couldn't stop laughing at it. I couldn't stop laughing at it. But you know what? I love America.
Yeah. There
I love America. I love America. I just wanted to hear people clap for me.
You are an applause prostitute.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
You had to pay for that. You had to pay for the applause with some kind of pandering nonsense. I have another idea for an ad. How about this, Brad? A commercial that does, the world's worst decisions. And you start out with lawn darts, and then you have New Coke, you have candy cigarettes, and then the punchline is Trump, and then it's like, you can't be serious. That way, they make it as a joke instead of making him, they're turning him into James Dean. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as our old and dearly departed friend Andrew said, Andrew Breitbart, that politics are downstream of culture. So if they don't get there, I mean, Hillary Clinton, to what Joe said, she's bringing an 8-track to a gunfight.
Yeah, that's
true. I mean, she's so far outside of what's going on. Trump has turned it upside down. I thought he was great when he first got in, if he drew attention to what limited government people really want. But Trump is a guy whose answer to every problem throughout his life as a progressive has been more government.
That's true. He has definitely removed conservatism from the conservative movement, Gavin, and you say you're right. So you're okay. You would have called him a rhino if he was somebody else.
No, the Republicans needed a reboot. They are and Trump came in here and said, we're not doing this anymore. We're not having any more open borders, G.W. Bush. And we're fiscal conservatives.
Right.
We're back to business. Literally business.
He didn't say fiscal conservatism.
No, he didn't. There's no such...
He's not going to even reform entitlements.
An entrepreneur is fiscally conservative by nature.
And loves debt.
Yes.
And loves debt and sticking it to the bankers. They're not babies. Believe me. They're not babies. They're some of the worst people you've ever met.
Than Obama's debt. Obama doesn't know how to pay back loans.
All right.
And Trump does by screwing the creditors.
All right, on that note, that little ping pong, I want to talk about something else. Problems are piling up for Hillary Clinton over her use of a private email server. Federal judge suggesting she may be called to testify under oath as the investigation moves forward. That on top of claims from a notorious hacker that said he got into her server. In an exclusive jailhouse interview with Fox's Catherine Herridge, the hacker, Guccifer, said he wasn't the only one.
Was the Clinton server easy or hard?
No, for me, what is it? For me, for everybody, I don't know how to say. It was no password. It was enabled remote assistance. So it was an easy server, so to speak.
Jessica, I have a theory that this guy wasn't a real expert. He was just a dude who, like, he knew her past. He just thought of her security questions, like, who did my husband have sex with recently? And then he was thinking about passwords, pantsuit, cigar, blue dress, Monica. And then the problem with older people. No offense to my viewers, but older people, including myself, are terrible with passwords.
Oh my God.
We'll use our grandkids' birthday. That's how it happens.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't admit this because when someone figures it out, my entire family has the same password. Like my parents, me, and my sisters.
It's Tall Daughter 101.
Exactly. Tall Daughter loves Clinton 101. No, I don't think Guccifer actually hacked her server, and it does it allows Hillary to say there's no evidence of this. Oh, and by the way, we know that the government servers were hacked the entire time that she was in the State Department, which just makes them look bad. Not that I think it was a good idea, but I don't think she comes out of this badly.
But we do know he hacked her server because he's the one that got the Sidney
Blumenthal
stuff.
He went in through Blumenthal. He didn't go in through the Clinton server.
He got in. Who cares? He got in.
He got in.
That's the thing. We might not be able to crack Hillary or find out all her secrets or her motives or any of that stuff.
You look so angry right now.
Technology is not privy to her privilege, okay? It's the same for everyone. The White House for her, and as Secretary of State, I would hope that she would recognize that fact. But she doesn't. She's completely ignorant to it and incompetent. And I
Typical
like it.
secretary, am I right? Kat, shouldn't they get this thing over with? I mean, seriously, because if this drags on, she could torpedo the chances of the Democrats come November.
I guess, but she just gets away with anything she wants. We already know that her aides were saying that there was a risk of her using a private server, but she chose to do it anyways because I guess her convenience was more important than national security. That's all I need to know, that I know that she could never be president. That's all anyone should need to know. But then she should be in prison, and then she should be doing interviews like that for attention, making things up like that guy probably did.
You know what?
If I was in prison, I might miss being on TV, too.
That is true. You know, people are making fun of Trump because now he's being briefed on intel issues, which is good. I don't think the Dems are going to be able to bring that up as a point of contention, given that their nominee handles emails the way her husband handles females. Hey, Gavin, are you worried? You know, I've used that joke before. I've used that joke before. That was a recycled joke. I used it on the 5 earlier.
Still good. It's still high quality.
All right, last word to you, you hairy weirdo.
That guy's lying, by the way. It wasn't easy. It was really hard. But I don't care. The fact that he got in is a bad sign. And it's also indicative of this massive tsunami of artillery that Trump is about to unleash on her. Trump has been biding his time. He's been waiting with these monster slam dunks that he's going to unleash on her, and that is going. You're going to watch her plummet in the polls.
Where are the anti-Trump stories right now? That's what I'm interested in. Who's holding on to those?
There's no such thing. That's the beauty of being so honest. Is you go, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, that's true. That means you could be president.
I will be. Mark my words.
Not in my lifetime. We were born in Scotland.
That hurts.
That's a fact. That's why nobody laughed. They all felt bad. Oh, I didn't know. Anyway, Scotland is great. It's in England, right?
Yeah, okay. North of England.
North of England. Coming up, a slideshow of all the bugs I collected at summer camp. It was a big deal when I was 8. But first, when will the Republican Party unite around Trump? I hope they do it between my squash game and my pedicure. That's more convenient for me. And now the fight to reunite. Donald Trump's presumptive nomination has put more chaos into the party than the highways of India. I mean, look at this. They're going in all directions. No stop signs. I can't believe no one's gotten hurt yet. Donald Trump's first challenge now is to get the Republican Party to get behind him and put an end to the Never Trump movement. Get behind sounds a lot like get in line, and the muckety-muckest mucks in the party ain't doing it. Both Presidents Bush, Jeb, and Brian, Mitt Romney, Jeb, I know, Mitt Romney, the other brother's always named as Brian in families.
Yep.
Anyway, and Lindsey Graham, even House Speaker Paul Ryan's not sold yet. But then again, Gingrich, Giuliani, and Cheney and Dole think Trump is the bee's knees. Getting the Republican Party to reunite is like redoing Full House. Sure, you got Stamos and Saget, but you don't have Michelle, and damn it, it's just not the same. Without Michelle, I pretend to know this stuff. Brad, you are part of the Never Trumper movement. Yep. Are you a party pooper?
Listen, I am a never Trump guy. Trump is a lifelong progressive, and he's also got a very strong authoritarian streak in him, which as a libertarian-minded conservative, I don't like people that are saying, I'm going to force American companies to stay here, or wait till you see when I'm president, I'm going to go after Jeff Bezos. That's BS. You do not use that office to go tackle people that you don't like. So his thing ought to be, how about we make America the place that businesses run to instead of from? That's the focus I'd like to see. But Trump's an authoritarian jackass. He is the orange raccoon that wants everybody to do what he says, and that's not the kind of guy we want in the Oval Office.
That was so dramatic.
That was gingerous.
We have a lot of orange-haired people in our audience, and frankly, they're going to be the letters to Brad Thor.
Small hands smell like cabbage.
Jessica, imagine if this was the Democratic Party, because Donald could have run as a Democrat conceivably 4 years ago.
I think it would have made a lot more sense, actually. Yeah.
Would you? You would have had the same split, I believe, between him and whoever else. And what if he got the nomination? Would you be stressing unity?
That's really complicated.
All right, let me make it simple.
Totally. No, I think that people will end up getting in line. I think that right now, I know that there's now the never ever Trump movement, and I don't think I don't know what you will do, or Ben Sass, or these people who are kind of at the forefront of it. But, you know, going out there and saying that they want a third-party candidate, which would all but hand the election to Hillary Clinton, I think is really not the way to go about it. I think that you try as best as you can to mold the platform and have some reasonable talk with Trump, if that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like they got to get together, and then everything's going to be fine, and we'll all move on. But, Gavin, have you ever seen the Poseidon Adventure?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing. Do you remember the scene where there are two groups of survivors and one's going this way and one's going that way? And
yeah, my favorite scene.
Yeah, and Gene Hackman is leading them, and they're going, no, this is the path to safety, and the other group is going, no, we know the right way, and of course, one group lives and the other group dies.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're at?
That's how I feel right now.
Yes.
I'm watching you guys go over a waterfall, and I'm like, wait, come over here. The worst Republican candidate is better than Hillary. You guys are on the verge of voting for Hillary.
What are you talking about, you guys?
He's not a Republican.
So, look, make him Satan. He's still better than Hillary. When you're a little kid, you go, oh, corporations are evil. And then you realize that corporations are the lesser of two evils when it comes to the government and corporations. And in this instance, right now, every Republican candidate is better than Hillary. I can't believe I have to sit here and scream at conservatives not to vote for Hillary.
All right.
Would you vote for Hillary?
No. One condition only. The only way I want to write in, vote third party, but the only way to keep Trump out of the White House is to vote for Hillary. I will vote for Hillary. I'll even knock on doors for Hillary if he keeps Trump out of the White House.
Don't tell me when you do that.
Now they're booing you.
Bigger boo than I
He's that dangerous to freedom, to liberty. He's that dangerous.
If you vote for Hillary, you are robbing my children of a father, because I'm going to put a shotgun in my mouth.
Thank goodness. Can I see that? All right, Joe. Do you think this rift can be mended?
No, people don't want it mended. People love conflict. It's very self-indulgent. It's like sports teams.
It is a sports team mentality.
Saying that theirs is the best, theirs is the best. But what I don't understand is people then going to another sports team.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. If you have a bad season or you have a bad quarterback or whatever it might be, you're just going to abandon your team. It makes very little sense to me.
Especially when your team is better than all the other teams.
It's yet to be seen. That's the thing.
All right,
we just had 7 years of proof.
What about the 8 years before that really blew?
That guy was spending like a drunken sailor. He was not one of ours.
All right.
Nor is liberal.
Nor is Trump.
George W.
I want to go to Kat because she's sitting over there. I don't know what you're a never everything.
Yeah.
If I asked you, if I threw out any name, you would say never. Unless, of course,
I'm a libertarian.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, you're defined by difference.
If I don't commit, if I never say that I'm committed to anything or anyone, then nothing's expected of me.
All right. Well, what is your prescription for the future of the Republican Party?
Oh, boy. I mean, okay, I can understand the never Trump thing. He's not been conservative on a lot of issues. Who knows what he really thinks? But he is the nominee. So I expect that people are eventually going to get behind him, and if they don't, then those people won't. And I think this is going to go on forever until it's all destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, it's not been getting any better. Why would it get any better now?
I guess yes.
Things don't get better. They can always get worse.
If you've got termites, you don't bring in a guy with a flamethrower. That's not going to, all these never Trump people that I've been with, they were there when we were doing the Tea Party rallies, where we took over the House, took over the Senate.
While he was giving money to the Democrats.
He's giving money to Pelosi and
Brad, you have been very busy.
You can see, Brad, that a flamethrower would kill termites.
Yeah, I do. as well as everything else. But these Trump people have shown up, and they're at the party with a box of matches. Where were you when we were working hard to put liberty-minded people into Congress?
Okay, dude, I don't know how much time I have left, but this is an interesting point. The fact is there are a lot of newbies who are calling people names who are principled conservatives. Now, I understand the newbies haven't been there before, but there were a lot of principled conservatives now acting like rhinos who are demeaning people that have done exactly what you're talking about. And I think that's bull. I think that there are a lot of people that work very hard to create a conservative agenda, and they're being denigrated because they're resisting quite possibly the most liberal Republican ever to run for presidency. Now, they may get behind him, but why not play hard to get? Why not play hard to get? By the way, I'd rather be behind Trump than in front of him. He's a wily little rascal. You know what I mean?
Orange raccoon.
All right. Up next, Dancing with Pandas. Not really, but I would watch that. If anyone has any tape to share, send it to my personal account. But first, who gets to be Donald Trump's running mate? We haven't done enough Donald Trump, have we? Whew. We're going to speculate wildly up next. Time to talk vice presidents. Here's why they matter. Hillary and Donald's unfavorability ratings are higher than a crowd at a Fish concert. So when it comes to running mates, they'll have to choose wisely. Will Hillary run with a Hispanic male, someone who's a popular role model, makes voters feel safe, and has a winning smile? The clear choice, of course, is Eric Estrada. What about Donald Trump? Maybe someone who is soft-spoken and kind-hearted and appeals to the youth. He's got to go with Elmo. That's just what I think. We'll be right back. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. Let's start with you, Brad. Who would be a good VP for Trump? What would convince you?
Well, I got to tell you, here's what I'm looking at it from Trump's point of view.
Okay.
All right. So Trump's got problems with women and people of color. So I think he needs to grab Snooki because she's got the 3 T's, right? She's tanned, she's tenacious, and she's got a great set. This is according to Trump's point of view. She's got a great set of Twitter followers.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Nicely done. All right. What do you think about Hillary? What's your thoughts?
I think she's perfect.
No, I mean the VP. VP.
I think that she's going to go with Sherrod Brown.
Really?
I do, because running against Trump has kind of changed the game insofar as how much she needs the Hispanic vote or the African-American vote, and I think that's about sealed up, even though I hear a lot of Trump people saying that he's going to win both those demographics. But I think we all know that's not true, and her main problem is actually with white men, and Sherrod Brown is a white man. And he's also more progressive than she is. He's not quite Elizabeth Warren, but he's always been to the left of her, but has always been a Clinton loyalist. And he gives you Ohio.
There you go.
Everyone loves Ohio.
He gives Ohio.
Yeah.
What about you, Gav? Thoughts on this?
Hillary or Trump?
Both. Give me both, real fast.
I think Trump should go with Raven. She's black, she's female, and every time there's a problem internationally, she can just go, "That's so Raven." As for Hillary, it's a moot point. She's not going to become president.
She still needs a buddy, though.
Yeah.
To try for
It'll
this.
last an hour and a half.
My theory is she should pick Colin Powell.
Oh,
that's really.
You got military, you got African American. Game over, America.
I think Trump's perfect VP is that Dos Equis guy from those commercials.
Who? Oh, Dos Equis.
That actor.
Did you see?
What did I say?
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
It's from the beer.
All right, Kat. Thoughts on both candidates, VP?
Yeah, well, Trump, he should pick a chick. Because everyone thinks he's sexist, and then bring that up in the announcement. Like, you all thought I was sexist? Look, it's a girl. Me and this chick, we're going to make America great again.
Yeah.
I think.
Check out her rack.
Yeah, it's just some random Swedish model lady. She's just smiling and nodding. He's like, see, I'm not sexist, the chick right here. Hillary, I just feel bad for whoever it is, because you probably have to spend a lot of time around her.
Yeah.
She does not seem fun. Could you imagine having a beer with Hillary?
Yeah.
She'd just be like, well, this is a nice beverage. I like to drink beer like everyday Americans like beer to drink, you know?
Trump needs to have like a smart, let's say, presidential candidate with experience in governance. It's ironic that for VP we expect a presidential candidate, but what I'm saying is he needs to have somebody that can sit there and go, no, not that. No, not that. For example, 90% of his job will be telling him what he just received in that email from Nigeria is false. You know, he's going to say, I mean, because he needs that. I think he needs somebody that will calm him, with facts.
Chris Christie. He's
been
telling the youth for a long time.
I have a feeling it'll be him or Kasich.
I think, well, Kasich seems pretty adamant that this is not happening.
Yeah.
But I think that he may go crawling back to little Marco.
Really?
Marco said no.
Well, yeah, but it's not. He hasn't given up his delegates yet. I mean,
they just need to be wooed.
Exactly.
No, they'll say yes.
It works for you.
Done.
That and a few Zimas.
Oh,
yeah.
Zimas.
Yes, exactly. Wow. Okay, up next, it's a special snowflake alert. College students are running for their safe spaces everywhere. Poor dears. If you leave now, I'm canceling brunch tomorrow.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like to be part of our studio audience, email Greg Tix at foxnews.com.
All right, the kids, the next segment's going to be so offensive, it needs a trigger warning. People born before 1940 will get that joke. Former New York City mayor and my massage therapist, Michael Bloomberg, getting booed after taking a shot at political correctness on college campuses. During his commencement address last weekend at the University of Michigan, they have one there, Bloomberg urging students to welcome exposure to challenging and uncomfortable ideas and saying colleges are too quick to give in to complaints. Let's watch.
The fact that some university boards and administrations now bow to pressure groups and shield students from these ideas through safe spaces, code words, and trigger warnings is, in my view, a terrible mistake. A microaggression is exactly that, micro. But in a macro sense, one of the most dangerous places on a college campus is the so-called safe space, because it creates a false impression that we can isolate ourselves from those who hold different views.
When did he grow a pair? I hate Brad having to agree with Bloomberg, but that was pretty good. The kids were booing.
It is amazing. It is the height of irony. Here is the guy that doesn't want you to have guns, big gulps, trans fats, salt, and he created this monster. He's the Dr. Frankenstein of safe spaces.
Yeah, he's the Dr. Jekyll, Jessica, who created all these Mr. Hydes and Mrs. Hydes and transgendered Hydes.
As long as they can use whatever bathroom they want.
Absolutely.
Totally
I'm
cool.
pro peeing everywhere.
Bloomberg, it's not.
Use a tree.
He doesn't want to take away guns and trans fats and sodas and all that. It's just everything in moderation. He's the moderate mayor. And we would be, I mean, how much better off would we be if we had a fourth term of Michael Bloomberg?
I agree. I hate to say, I couldn't stand it, but by God, de Blasio makes Bloomberg look like, I don't know, Giuliani.
Yeah.
Yeah, not funny, but true. All right, Joanne, the parents didn't boo, the kids booed. What does that say?
It says that I am disappointed in today's college graduates because you're supposed to be hungover and not listening, doing Snapchat, texting your friends about graduation party plans later. Who listens to these commencement addresses? I mean,
I miss mine.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone's just ready to go. Everyone's already checked out. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange to me.
It is strange to me as well. Kat, did he commit a microaggression? Did the mayor commit a microaggression against those students?
Yeah. Well, he's a white guy, so he is a microaggression.
And he's short. Yeah.
I was very proud of him, and I hated being proud of him. I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
These kids don't know what not safe is, right? Like someone's got like a certain, like tequila and a sombrero is not safe.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, you know, like a terminal illness, not safe. Being chased after by an axe murderer, not safe. Like a certain kind of booze and a hat combination, you're actually safe.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're going to be fine. And they need to know that, because they're not going to be fine if they think that and they go out into the world and expect anybody to want to talk to them.
That's so true. You know, I think there should be a split university system where the colleges advertise. One says safe space stamp of approval, and another one says warning, not a safe space. And then you'll create a stigma for the students who choose the safe space.
Yes.
You will never hire from those schools. You go, did you go to a safe space school? And they go, yes. You go, get out of here. All right. Coming up, Malia Obama decides to take a gap year before heading to Harvard, which got Joanne and Kat thinking, why not us? To which I say, you're fired. If you leave now, I'm taking you off my Christmas card list. This week, we learned that President Obama's oldest daughter, Malia, will be taking a gap year, which means she's working at the Gap. I think it's fantastic. No, not really. But she's going to take a gap year, which is like a year off, before entering Harvard University in 2017. I say good for her. Hold off on college. May I remind you of our last segment? Gap years are becoming a popular trend for millennials. So our in-house millennials, Joanne Nosuchinsky and Katherine Timpf, decided to investigate. And when I say investigate, I mean leave work and expense their lunch on the company.
More and more millennials are taking gap years before college. But what do the great Americans of Times Square really think about this trend? Kat hit the streets to find out.
I have one who took a gap year already.
What did she want to do?
She taught skiing for a year, for the winter, and babysat, which it's a nice gap. But, you know, life comes and it pounds you, so...
It sure does. Do you think that you could shop at the Gap every day for a year?
No, not every day. Maybe twice.
A lot of jeans.
Yeah, too many jeans.
I see you out here a lot. I feel like, are you on like a gap year?
No, I went straight from high school to college. I got a bachelor's degree, and I went to Xavier for my master's, so I never stopped, and I read and do more reading now than I ever did in college. So.
Here you are today. You really excited about Trump?
No.
No? No?
Just the hat.
Just the hat?
One of my granddaughters went to Europe.
Okay, did she find herself?
I don't know if she'll ever find herself.
I don't know if I will either.
Well, I'm the naked cowboy, telling you not to be no fool. I'm the naked cowboy. Hey, kids, stay in school.
So the naked cowboy thinks it's a bad idea, but I'm still not convinced. My real question is, what are the fiscal implications of a gap year? To learn more, I turn to America's most trusted British businessman.
The gap year. I want to talk about the fiscal responsibility or lack thereof of taking one. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me tell you what I did. Okay. I got somebody else to pay for it. I did a gap year. I got somebody else to pay, namely the British Peace Corps.
I'm going to write that down.
I got it done for free. But if you fast forward to today and you ask how would somebody afford a gap year now, the answer is that it's almost unaffordable unless mom and dad have got a lot of money.
If I were to hypothetically want a break, like take a year off, would you hypothetically fund that for me?
No. I did say I need a rate of return. What would be the rate of return to me financially of investing in you for a gap year?
I mean, I'd pay you back.
You would?
Maybe.
What security would you offer on this loan?
Security?
Yes. You have a car, a house, savings?
I don't. I have nothing.
So you can't pay me back?
I could tweet about you.
Not good enough.
No, I have a lot of followers.
I don't care.
So Stuart was no help in funding my own gap year, but that's what credit cards are for. And in no time, Kat and I were off.
Okay. You have everything?
Totally do. All right, you getting an Uber?
Yeah.
Gotta go? All right.
Oh, geez. The fare, it's 3 times the normal price. Surge pricing.
Oh, man. All right, you know, if you don't want to do this, I have my dad's password to Netflix. We can do that. Teen Mom.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Forget it.
Yeah, totally.
Nicely done, you all. You know, it's always interesting. There's a 50% chance every man on the street interview will feature the naked cowboy.
No.
Yeah. Did he ask for your phone numbers?
No. Am I going to be okay?
Yeah. Well, I guess we learned something else about the naked cowboy. All right. He's probably married and has kids. Don't go anywhere. We have a special tribute to close out the show. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Tonight's show is sponsored by Subtractorol. It's the pill that helps you do less. Tried Adderall and you just got way too much stuff done thanks to being hyper-focused? Then try Subtractorol today.
This week, we lost the remaining two candidates challenging Donald Trump. We pause for a moment to remember and reflect.
When John Boehner calls me Lucifer, he's not directing that. He's directing that at you.
And lastly, we welcome back to the debate stage Donald Trump.
Kasich. Can I introduce
Please don't noisy in here. Yes, we're going to introduce Ohio Governor John Kasich.
500 billion in federal spending, specifying exactly what I would cut. It's easy to say it.
At least shake your hands.
We wish them well, and I know we will not see the last of them, I think. That sounded ominous. All right, that's it. Thanks to Brad Thor. Awesome. Jessica Tarlov, fantastic. Gavin McInnes. Stuart Varney. Joanne Nosuchinsky. Katherine Timpf. I'm Greg Gutfeld.